you. I love this time. I love this practice, and I love seeing you joining me online. And now we have a beautiful community of people, and it keeps growing. So I'm incredibly happy and blessed to be here with you on every day. This practice has helped so many people to realize who they are not and come to the realization who they are. And it was very, very powerful yesterday. And I'm glad that some of you got this feeling of that being that you really are. So let's go and dehypnotize ourselves today as well. Take a comfortable position. You don't have to sit with your legs crossed. And by the way, happy yoga day. Today is a yoga day. um, my other passion, maybe even my first passion. I absolutely love yoga. I love psychology. I love quantum physics. And I'm very, very passionate about reprogramming the mind. So let's go. I see some of you are here. So good day, good morning, good evening. Thank you for joining me. I'm always absolutely happy and delighted to see you here with me. Let's take a deep breath in and a big sigh out. And one more deep inhale. Exhale. Through the mouth, releasing, letting go. Another deep breath in. And exhale. Fantastic. So make sure you are sitting or lying down comfortably. You can lie down as well. But if it's possible and you can lean back against something like the back of the chair or the board, the headboard of the bed, and close your eyes if you're cozy and you are somewhere that you can do this. If you're working, keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes open. That's absolutely fine. And I want you now to simply become aware of the breath. So notice the breath, how it flows in and out, in and out, in and out. And for a moment, pay attention to your belly and begin breathing into the belly. Let the belly come up, filling with the air, and on the exhale, notice how it flattens. And again, inhale into the belly, exhale out. So you feel it's like a balloon with the air. As you breathe in and breathe out, the body keeps reacting, the belly keeps moving, and you're just becoming more and more aware that you are not your breath because you can simply witness it. And you're relaxing your shoulders. You might feel already different by just being more present with the breath. Relax your face, the forehead. Notice the breath is still there. Bring a tiny smile on your face so it helps you to relax more. Beautiful. And as you continue watching the breath, I want you to realize that you're definitely not your breath. right? You can simply witness it happening as the body breathes, and there is the network of intelligence in the body that is doing it for you. So I want you now to shift from controlling your breath, perhaps you were working on making it longer, to completely let go and observe how the body breathes by itself when there is no interference from your side. So it's just happening. Breath enters and leaves your body. Comes in, goes out. Pay attention for a moment to your body. How does it feel today? Knowing that we're calling it a body, so that's not you because that's the name for the body. How your body feels today. Is there a tension? Maybe you feel like a bit some tension or something. Notice what is it? And just pay attention to any feelings arising in you as you watch the feelings. You're aware of the body. You become aware that you're not your body and you're not your feelings because you can witness both, right? You're witnessing the body breathing. You also know that you're not your name. And just notice the thoughts. What is today the pattern of the thinking? What are your thoughts right now are trying to impose on you? The breath is there, be aware of it. Comes in, goes out. What is your thoughts telling you today? Just simply witness it and do not give it any reaction. My mind or my thoughts are telling me this and that. Okay, just let's keep it as an observation. And you realize that, aha, I can watch my thoughts. So I am not my thoughts. And that's amazing. So if I'm not my thoughts, what else is in my mind? Because that's what my mind is about, right? It's storing all the memories, it stores all the past, all the beliefs, all the concepts of what the world or who I am is. So I'm not my mind because I can watch my memories. I can actually recall my memories if I want to, because they're not always with me. So that means I'm not any of that. I'm not my memories. I'm not my past. I'm not my childhood. And so you are not, of course, your body, you are not your thoughts, you're not your feelings, you're not your breath, you're not your memories, you're not your beliefs about who you are. You're not any concepts of yourself, anything you were told about this world or yourself. You're not that. And you're also not your shape, your size, your weight, the money on your bank accounts. You're not your bank account. You're not your wages, salary. You're none of it. You're not your education. The breath is still there, but more and more spaciousness appears in you, right? You are feeling slightly different now. You're still witnessing the breath. It's kind of that point of being here and now. It kind of grounds you a little bit to this present moment as the body breathes. Okay, I, as in that body, being that avatar, I exist. But who said that you do not exist when the body is not there? So let's peel by all the layers, knowing that you're not your body, knowing that you're not your memories, you're not your past, you're not your childhood, you're not your teenagehood, you're not your expectations of the future, you're not any vision of the future, you're not your imagination, and you're also not any identity. So think of the picture, the image, the photo or image of you who you believed you were, and drop it. I'll explain you a little trick how it actually works for the avatar. So you've dropped the picture of who you believed you were, who you were imposed to think or feel that you are, but let's focus first on the photo. This identity consists of the image of who you are. And now say a couple of times, I am, I am, I am, and get the feeling of who you are, but not the feeling that is the background of everything, but the feeling that um, is attached to this identity, that you identify yourself, that image that you hold in your head about yourself, this in your belief it's you. And that image has got also a feeling. That's I am, right? I am Victoria, or I am Natalia, or I am Julie, or I am Nikki. So now what I want you to stop identifying yourself with the image of who you believe you were holding in your mind, or even hold now, and understand that's not you. And then the what remains is the feeling of I am that person, because to that personality, for you to exist, certain feeling was attached. For you to believe I am Peter, I am whatever your name is, the identity that you identified yourself with. So, what is the feeling of that identity? And notice that as you go through life, it changes. One day you feel happy, I am happy, Natalia or Anna, I'm happy, Peter, and another moment I'm unhappy. But also with that identity, attach the whole belief structure. It's like a cage of feeling of I'm not enough, feeling of I can't do this, feeling of yes, I'm great at math, all kind of feelings, right? They're kind of attached as and skill, the set of skills attached to that identity. But now we're not looking onto the image, we're looking onto the feeling of who do you feel that you are on a daily life basis, like every day. What do you feel about yourself? You wake up, then you rush, you have coffee. That's the feeling. I am already here, right? So I am is attached to a certain feeling that you were convinced to feel about yourself, this and that identity, good at this, bad at that, maybe a little bit better at some things, worse at another. So you have already dropped the identity image that you were thinking who you were for a moment, right? Let's play this game because you know that's not you. You can see it in the mirror, it's the body, it's the image, that's the avatar that plays the game. Now there is a feeling that was attached to that identity. So every morning you would wake up and you have, let's say, a lower back pain, you would feel it. If you have a hip pain, it's like, oh, you begin identifying yourself with the body, with the pain, and everything that identity who you believe to be is feeling during the wake up in the morning, right? Maybe not for the first couple of minutes because there is still spaciousness, you're still in the alpha or even theta state, most likely alpha. So then everything begins, the game is on, and you full on with all the thoughts convincing you into doing something. What do you need to do? What do you have to do? What's the agenda for today? So now we have agreed we're not going to look at the image. We just forget about it, collapse it, to just drop it. It's not you. And now the feeling that was attached to identity, for identity to exist in this world, drop it. Because you've just witnessed everything that you felt about yourself in a form of some of combination of the feelings that were feelings, emotions, all of that attached to I am, that was an identity of who you were identifying yourself. And that kind of, how do we call it? That feeling of I am, let's call it feeling of the identity of who you identify yourself with, was attached to the image. And boom, when it's merged, you kind of appeared in this game. And boom, all the troubles, everything, like all the issues, all the complexes, all the good and bad things, wherever you believe about yourself, they got active. Suddenly they became like, poof, your reality, right? But now we untangle this. So again, drop the image of who you believed, drop the feeling, a bunch of feelings combined together. What remains? The breath is still there. Notice it. But you know, you're not that image of the identity of the role you were playing, which is also attached to the identity mother, sister, teacher, uh, employee. You're not that. And you know, or even like when it comes to whether you're a woman or man, and then you drop the whole bunch of feelings that were connected to that body, the identity, that also had concepts and everything about themselves. Now you also know that because you could simply observe everything that was attached to this I am that you believed you were. Magic, right? So simple. So you just realized that, wow, I am not the image of who I hold. I'm not that identity because I watch it, I can witness it easily. And I'm also not a bunch of feelings and emotions that are attached to this identity to play the game of the avatar. We just detangled it. And it's beautiful because you've got the full freedom of what you are. And there is another feeling of being or beingness kind of at the background. If you had to really call it the background, the foreground, doesn't matter. But in kind of, it's kind of a space of everything that was attached to it, but now it's detangled, right? We untouched everything, like untangle, I think is the word, sorry. And then what remains is that you still know that the body is there, it still breathes, right? You still can witness it. The mind could be simply witness, you know that because it consists of all the beliefs, all the feelings, all the structure of the identity and concepts that you were holding about yourself and the world. And this identity might have been wired there with all those feelings and emotions that you just let go. But you still know that you exist. And this is what we call consciousness. You are consciousness or awareness or a higher being, and there is a freedom in you. So it's super easy when you understand, okay, for a moment, I'm going to play this game. I'm not going to hold any image of me because I can see that image. When I see myself in the mirror, I know that's my body. That's not what I am. And also, anything that is in that body, all this identity, feelings, beliefs, also, it's not me. And boom, the shift is really, really massive. Keep breathing, don't panic. Sometimes some people, when they feel that spaciousness and when they don't feel this kind of survival mode or anything, they are somehow addicted to in some way. You know, when you're suffering at some point, when before the self-realization, before the awakening, you understand at some point that you're suffering, and then you understand that, wow, I actually am choosing to suffer on every day. And it's kind of misery, but at the same time, it's like being a masochist, because people do thrive in misery, in suffering, until one day they understand, poor, poor me game. It's not interesting anymore. It's boring. It doesn't get me anywhere. Yes, I can manipulate people from that position, and sometimes people do it subconsciously. They begin to manipulate others and help and ask them for the help and money, and poor victim kind of role is played. But it's only the decision making. What kind of thoughts I'm choosing to think today? Because by choosing the thoughts, I am choosing how I'm going to feel. So if you're moody, if you woke up in the morning and you feel like there is certain mood, you are the one who is responsible for that mood. You don't need to go through whole day. I knew one guy, he was my friend. He's still my friend, but we haven't seen each other since long time. So he used to be like a big CEO of a company in London. And when he would wake up moody, and he had a moody kind of mood, so he would wear a black shirt and come to the office. And he was sharing this story with me, and I find it hilarious now. Not saying that I'm a prude, of course. Yes, I had those moments when I was moody, but let's go back to the to my friend's story. So he would wear a black shirt. He would go to the office, and all people who worked with him, and he was like way higher positioned, right? So they wouldn't dare to speak to him on that day, because he was signalizing that, don't even talk to me. I am moody today. Okay. It's so funny, because it's like, you're moody today, thinking of in general now, right? I don't want to judge him. It's just an example. It's a fact. And he admitted it. But even if I was judging him, for an example, to understand how we are insane sometimes, um, getting like hypnotizing ourselves into some weird stories, and then our mood that is simply could be like this shifted by one click. We pass on to another people. So imagine, in like, let's take his example again. So going to work and affecting so many people around you because you are moody today, it's like insane. And this has happened to most of people on the planet, let's be honest. And I, as well, I had those moments when I was moody. And I remember, like, maybe, oh gee, how old was I? I tell you, how many years ago was it? Maybe like 17 years ago, I would be moody, and I would have a boyfriend, and I'll be like, don't speak to me, and kind of this weird mood. But yes, okay, when you're younger, you're not really aware of that. It's okay. But hey, let's wake up. Let's wake up. At any age, you can stop it. You don't need to get into your forces to be able to control your feelings, right? And there is only usually one thought that comes first and tells you, "Hmm, I don't feel well today. Mm, I don't know what's happening, but I'm kind of moody." So it's like three thoughts in three sentences, right? If we count them separately. And they're convincing you now that you are not in a good mood, that something is wrong. And then you buy it. It's like you've been sold this idea. And then, of course, the feelings arising in your body because you just believed into what those three thoughts told you. How insane is that? So you were just hypnotized to feel like a crap for the rest of your day because you believed three thoughts. And sometimes it's the entities who are coming and telling you those things because they can suck onto your energy. And I know it might sound woo-woo to some people, it might not. Uh, sorry, if it sounds woo-woo to you, perhaps it's not your channel, but I saw it in the meditation. I could sense it. People literally, you get surrounded by those kind of entities or energetic kind of beings on the different realms, and they begin convincing you into feeling bad. Then they begin convincing you to have a sip of alcohol or to have another addiction, to have a line of cocaine or whatever drug. And that's how people are fighting years and years and years and years with an addiction. Because when you entitle one thought, one entity, bring the thought and convince you to believe into something, it invites another one and another one and another one and another one. And those people at the energetic level, when you look at them, they look like they're surrounded with the cloud of darkness. And that's exactly how it looks when you scan them. If you were scanning the energy, you would see the clouds of darkness around them because there's so many entities, so many thoughts, because in the beginning they convince them, they allow them, because the power is always within us. They convince them to believe into some crappy things, crappy thoughts, and of course that produced chemicals being released in the body along with the feelings, and suddenly that person is sad, or that person is depressed, and suddenly the thought in the mind, which not is really in the mind, it's like the field around, right, which is usually the entity, tells them, go and have a glass of wine or go and do this. And that's your power in that moment to realize, take a deep breath in and to realize, no, that's not my thought. That's not what I really want. And that's how you slowly begin coming out of the addictions. And the same, how you getting out of depression, how you getting out from anxiety, because depression is the same. It's the regret of something that you don't have, is the negative loop of thinking. So you're entangled into negative thoughts and you carry on thinking of them. And most of the times it's connected to the past, something you shouldn't have done, or something that you did, or something that you should have had by now, but you don't because you, I don't know, 40, 30, 50, 80, doesn't matter the age. So the same way, when we becoming again powerful beings because we were born to be powerful, and we realize, hold on a second, who is telling me all those things? You get your power back instantly. And from that moment, you are the creator, you are the boss of your whole life. Every moment of your life, you are able to live the way you want to live. I don't want to say control, because the only control that we have in our life is the control of our thoughts. There is no control. People who are trying to control other people, situations, they usually are afraid of flying because they are out of control. The root cause of why people are afraid to get on the plane, because they can't control it. And being out of control, it's a fear. It scares crap out of them. So I realizing that the only thought that you can control, the only thing that you can control is your thoughts. It makes you free. It makes you free from anything. It makes you free from addictions. It makes you free from misbeliefs. It makes you free from any hypnosis, anything society, your parents were trying to hypnotize you into. and you are incredibly powerful. So let's go back to the breath. I've gone a little bit off the topic, but I wanted you to feel that power that is always in your hands. So you can change anything that you want in your life, okay? By just simply changing your thoughts. So knowing that you're not your thoughts, you can be in control of them. The breath is there. You're completely dehypnotized. Let me remind you, you're not your body. You can witness it. You're not your name. It's just the sound. Victoria, Anna, Julie, Peter. You're not your surname. Same thing. You're not your size, your shape, your weight. You're not your childhood. You're not your education. You're not any information you have read or came across. You're not any concepts. You're not any belief structure, any beliefs about you. It's not you because you can witness them. And you're also not any wounds, any traumas, any fear, any all of that is just a belief structure. And you know the clothes that you're wearing. The breath is there, the body has got the network of intelligence that is doing the whole job of breathing for you. And all you do, you are witnessing from the position of the consciousness. So you're conscious of everything, but you're none of it. And that feeling of what I am when I wake up in the morning, it's the feeling before you get into everyday like agenda, you know. That's the spaciousness of what you are, and you can feel it right now as well. Not the feeling that is attached to the identity that you used to hold about yourself. So drop that image of who you hold about yourself and drop the identity, the feelings, okay? And then you can still be aware that you are. The existence is in you, the essence of what you are. The beingness is in you, and that's pure you, which feels free. You are suddenly liberated from anything your thoughts were imposing to you. You are liberated from playing any role. So much of freedom, so much of space, but you're also not the space, you're not the time. You're way beyond it. You're something that is beyond the time and space. The breath is there, the body breathes, but there is no control and there is no need to hold on to anything. Why people very often don't want to self-realize themselves? Because they attach so much to the image, to the identity they hold, with all the pain, with all the suffering, with all the belief structures. They don't want to let it go. That's the control. Let it go. Drop it. And suddenly, none of it is you. Yeah, for some people, if they, I don't know, if they have some panic attacks or, you know, they just kind of those people who are panicking easily, they might panic a little bit, but you are safe. You're absolutely safe of being what you are. The breath is there, the body breathes. You're still alive, you're still in that game as a body because in some way you are the body when you play the game. But on a highest level, you're a higher being. And we're going to call it one unified consciousness just for the sake of this practice. And now we're moving to the practice because now you know what you are. You have a feeling of that. You're absolutely liberated. You just get out of you just got out of your cage. And it's like, absolutely fantastic nirvanic state of peace of mind, because any thoughts or anything imposed on you could be easily witnessed before you decide, and you are deciding that I'm not going to give it any attention. My attention gives it energy and keeps it alive. And I'm just going to let it pass as the body breathes, I'm aware of everything, but I am nothingness, if we had to call it somehow. I'm something that is impossible to describe in any words. That's what you are, and that's the pure reality. That's your essence, or the essence of what you are, actually. And from that space, I want you to amplify the vibration of love and kindness. Notice the breath flows. Perhaps you're smiling like just me because it's so free and it doesn't cost anything. It's so beautiful. Just pure existence, pure life in no form. Now, keep amplifying the vibration of love and kindness, being that something that we called one unified consciousness a million times and feel it's happening. Introduce some kind of playfulness, no need to force, no need to wonder how to do this or panic. It's happening because that's your will. You are the highest being on the highest level now. You rise above the game and you can do it easily. Like as I click my fingers, it's just happening so fast. Boom, million times, 10 million times. Keep multiplying the frequency of love and kindness as much as possible. 100 million times, 1 billion times. That's it. And feel that the body vibrates now of love and kindness in every single cell of it. And there are trillions of cells, and every little cell has got a little mouth and it's drinking that pure love, pure highest frequency of kindness, and you're feeling that the body is restoring itself as just as you continue to amplify the frequency of love and kindness. Every organ in your body, your heart, your liver, your kidneys, your lungs, your bladder, or your intestines, everything, your skin, your hair, everything is vibrating of love and kindness, the highest frequency possible, and it goes into every direction and kind of flows. And now you are vibrating in the radius that is like limitless of love and kindness. And people, of course, can feel it. It affects all the people in your neighborhood in a good, great, of course, way. Now, I want you to realize that many, many people do the same practice. They also realize themselves as one unified consciousness and they keep amplifying that vibration many, many, many times over. So carry on, just keep doing it. You, as one unified consciousness, realizing yourself, continue amplifying million times, 10 million times, 100 million times, billion times the frequency of love and kindness. And now realize yourself through every person on the planet Earth, and they are realizing themselves as being that one unified consciousness, and all together we are amplifying being the one unified consciousness, but also being every person on the planet Earth. And it just keeps powerfully rising. Feel it. The field is so potent now. It's so high in energy that we're all thriving right now here. And we're ready to invite all our beloved ones. So call in names of people that you like, people that you love, your parents, your siblings, your aunties, uncles, cousins. Let them be with us in the beautiful field of highest frequency of love and kindness that is so nourishing, that is so empowering, healing. It's absolutely divine. Now, for some people, might be not the easiest part of the practice, but I believe you can make it happen. Please invite all the people that you don't like, people that you weren't okay with, people that you haven't spoken to since a while, people that triggered you or you didn't hear from since a while. And that could be also your family member. That could be your next door neighbor. That could be your ex colleague, ex friend. Think of those people. Invite them into this field. Sometimes we get triggered by the closest people as well. So think of those ones. Think of your ex boss, ex colleagues, Karen boss. Who else? Just another moment. Let them be in this field, nothing for you to do. The field is working out for you. It's dissolving anything and everything that does not serve your body, your energetic field, your soul, and the game that you play. Everything is now dissolved and sent back to the universal consciousness to be transformed into love and kindness and sent back to your body, to every single cell of it, in a form of love and kindness. Any grief, any pain, any grudges, disappointments, negative thinking, negative energy is dissolving now, along with the fears, with any fear of rejection, fear of anything, public speaking, fear of being visible, fear of being cringe or stupid or silly. People are afraid of that as well. Yeah, right. But it's also like kind of connected to the fear of being criticized. It's also dissolving right now. And I'm erasing it, eradicating it together. We are removing it and sending it back to the universal consciousness again to be transformed and sent back to your body, to your subconscious mind, to your emotional body, to your physical body, and anchor there in a form of love and kindness in the highest divine form, along with lots and loads of light. So you shine bright wherever you go. So you know that you can, that you feel that you're safe. You know that you're protected. And as the highest being, you are always protected. Remember, you are in control only of your thoughts. And when you are in control of your thoughts, that's only how you can control your life. That's how you can create things. That's how you can manifest things. That's how you attract things. It's super easy because you are the highest being at your highest vibration. Now turn on the magnetism charisma. Think of where is it that button. So if you imagined you've gone into your body and you found one spot that is, it might be a button, it might be some kind of a handle or some twisting little thing. And then it says magnetism and charisma. Just turn it on, turn it, full on, full on, full on. That's it. So, ta-dam, you're shining bright now with full magnetism and charisma. at the highest level. So you are a magnetic being. There is no need to want or need anything. Now, everything is attracted to you. And that's beautiful. Thanks to this practice, thanks to for you showing up daily, thanks for you understanding yourself and knowing yourself at the highest level. Fantastic, great job. Let's call in all the animals, our little brothers and sisters on this planet Earth, because they are also consciousness in the animal's body. Let's invite all the trees, all the plants. Again, this is the energy in materia. Even the rock is the energy. That's why if you believe in the reincarnation, like in India, they say you can even be a rock in your next life. And of course, I believe nobody wants, I mean, I've never met people who wanted to be a rock, but I might be wrong. There might be such legends that they would like to be a rock in the next lifetime. But I think if I get to choose who I would like to be, I would rather be in a human body, because that's where you can ascend. You can become an ascended master. You can merge with the God on the highest level of the what you really are, and um, that's what the self-realization is, and that's the end of the game. Then you can then come and go anytime. You can be that avatar that sometimes people see in the Tibetan mountains, that avatars that coming, they're high beings also that some gurus encountered, and those called rishis. And rishis were giving also knowledge to human beings, because when they looked at us, we were kind of ants to them. They looked at us and were like, who are these beings? Why they're not yet highly evolved? Why they still fighting for a roll paper when it's a pandemic? When you think of those things, how higher beings might be looking at us. But anyways, coming back to the reincarnation, when you become an ascended master, you get to choose. In a samsara wheel, you don't have to be reborn, but most masters are choosing to be reborn, or at least to take a body and come to this planet Earth and just give a hand to other people and support them to ascend, support them to self-realize themselves. And I came across to Nisargadatta Maharaj, how many years ago? 11 years ago, was it? Yes, 11 years ago. And I just had a big discovery that, wow, the life is like the river. It flows between two banks, the pleasure and the pain. So if you cannot navigate between those two banks, you will be always hitting one of the banks of the river. So you'll be either in pleasure or in pain. So the cycle of pleasure and pain never ends. It's just cycles. And that's why most of people are suffering. Because usually people are suffering of not having something. You want a new iPhone, you suffer because all your friends, especially when you're a kid, let's say at school, they got it, right? Or not necessarily, don't have to be a kid. Actually, looking at our society, I think one of the gurus said that rarely you will find a human being that has already mentally came to the age of 12. Most of people are 3, 6, 9 years old. 12, it's already highest evolved on the psychological, like mental level among our society. So we don't have any grown ups. Even people who are in their 30s, 40s, and 60s, their mental age is 12. I mean, what kind of world do we live in? Isn't it funny? And on the other hand, it's a little bit ridiculous, I would say. So, anyways, coming back to pain and suffering, how to come out of that. So you want a mobile phone because your friend has got it, but you don't have it, or you want that car, you suffer. Okay, so you go through life and your mind keeps like knocking, 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 and keeps telling you all those words, how unhappy you are, how miserable you are without the subject that you really, really want to have. Then finally, some people it takes years to get some money to collect, to save. Some people they come to their dreams much faster, but in between there is a lot of suffering happening, right? Because I don't have it, the person feels that they're not complete, and with that comes a lot of suffering. As soon as they get the subject, so they felt incomplete, they got the item they wanted, let's say that car, so they're happy for some moment, right? How long were you happy when you got your last phone? Just think of it. Or your last computer or something really expensive. Probably couple of hours, maybe 2 days. Okay, with the car because you started driving to work and back, maybe a week, even maybe 2 weeks. But then the mind goes, oh, but I don't have a boyfriend or I don't have a girlfriend. And then it convinces you how miserable you are, how horrible it is to be lonely, to be single on this planet Earth. And then you decide, yeah. And then again, you are already convinced by your own mind, entangled all in all the thoughts and feelings that connected to those thoughts that convinced you that you are unhappy because of that. And you can't enjoy your life and be full, like on joy and happiness, and you are suffering again. So think of the craziness of that. That's the whole philosophy of life. If you are unaware, if you are not awakened, if you are not conscious enough to see this pattern of behavior that most people are just getting trapped into that game of the mind. And on top of that, we way too much thinking. And one of the gurus said that thinking is a habit. It became a habit because when you notice what is in your mind most of the day, you will realize that's crazy. That's insane. You cannot, you're having so many conversations with so many people that are not around you that if you were saying those things out loud, you would have end up in the, cuckoo house, like where all the insane people are. And I'm laughing because I don't want to make a drama out of it, because that's the beauty of life as well. To understand that we are in duality. We play the game with all range of feelings, with all kind of thoughts, with all kind of the emotions. Everything and anything is possible, but it's up to us how we're going to play the game and what we will let our mind to convince us into, if we actually would have, or what will we choose to feel, to think, how we are going to be. And now that your magnetism and charisma is full on, you can turn on the full joy on. So let's do this. Let's go into your subconscious mind. I want you to imagine you've gone into your subconscious mind right now, and there is the button. And there it says joy with 3 big juicy letters, J, O, and Y. And you can either press it, twist it, turn it, Just turn it as much as you can onto the full on, and feel the joy arising in you right now, in the body, in every single cell of your body. That's how easy it is. And you have the remote control to your mood daily. Daily. Think of how powerful it is. You can be joyful, you can be happy, no matter whether you have that car or that villa or that partner or that dream life or not, because it's so much easier to live your life from that state of mind. Where is a joy, there is a peace. Where is a happiness, there is a peace. And your mind is not going to drive you and remind you of everything that you don't have, because you are consciously and constantly every day choosing to love what you have and let go what you don't have. And don't resist anything that happens in your life. Anything happens, you take a breath, whether it's good or bad, you will be, from this day onward, practicing this practice. You will be taking one deep breath. And that's why I told you to practice this pleasurable moments, because when you want something, you kind of think of something that you attracted into your life. You kind of were like a magnet. You activated your magnetic field and you were like drawing it onto you. So you are magnetic to anything that you want. But the problem is that when something that happens that we don't want, we resist it. We want to have a control. Oh no, I wanted this. I did not want to receive. Let's give you as in this example. Oh no, I did not want to receive a bunch of tulips. I wanted roses. And some people are like this. And it's funny to say, but I remember when I think I was already in my 30s. Yes, I was about 31. And I received flowers from my boyfriend at that time. And I looked at them and I was so disappointed that they were not roses, the flowers that I love, because he should have known the flowers that I love. Why did he just got me like bunch of like some, those kind of field um, flowers that grow in the field. I love all kind of flowers now, and I'm laughing at it by myself because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how we want to control every little thing. And you will be noticed more and more as you go through life. You will be surprised because most of people say, no, that's not me. That's not me. That's not me. That's not me. But we all do that. So as you go through life, you will be noticing more and more of what you wanted your spouse to say, how you wanted him to behave, or your partner. And when they didn't do something that you wanted them to do, you're going to be upset, and you're going to, until you realize that moment, because you recall my words, and you'll be like, what the heck I'm doing right now? I'm trying to control. I am trying to control another being of how I want them to be. And that is like, what? It's like, why do we use so much power? Why are we trying to force others to be the way we want them to be? Why can't we just allow them to be the way they are? Think of it, because that would ease your marriage. That would improve your relationship with all the people around you, because you will let go that control. And that requires a little bit of an engagement. And you will be noticing yourself. You will be witnessing like more and more. As you keep practicing here with me, doing the unity practice, you will be also noticing how aware you become during the day. And if you set your alarm every hour, as I have suggested to you, then it would recall you. It would bring you to the moment of here now, and you'll be like, oh, where was my mind? And you will notice in those little moments, sometimes you had a conversation with someone, imagining them to be the way you want to be, or doing something or telling them that they haven't done something accordingly to how you saw it. So they will be like many, many, many different things about you, trying to control and use your power on other people. And there is way too much of that happening in the world. That's why we need to begin looking inward inside of ourselves, because we try to blame politics, the government, there's so much power, so much of this, so much of, but we forget that we are playing very often the role of the boss in the family. The spouse decides whether, you know, like let's say the wife decides whether she lets her husband go on holidays or not, or the other way around. And it's insane, because they're two free people with free will who should be responsible for taking their own decisions, making their own decisions in this life. But suddenly, we are deciding what they're going to be doing. Is it fair? Is it okay? Is it right? So if most, how I don't want to say every person, but I would say most people in this life trying to control, parents trying to control their children, children are manipulating, controlling their parents, partners controlling each other, then authorities, of course, at work, colleagues, wherever, bosses controlling you. The government controls you. Everywhere is a control based on I am the righteous one. I am the right. You got to listen to me. I know the best. So let's give up on that. So I want you to become more and more aware. What or whom do you try to control in your life? Because when you realize yourself being that higher being that you are, you go with the flow. There is more spaciousness created in you now. And with that, you drop the control. And you know what happens? Miracles are happening, synchronicities, beautiful things, because finally the universe received some space, because you were holding so tight into no, there needs to come to me that way at that time and in that color, right? And I'm not a prude. I know what I'm talking about, because every mind is similar. We are all operating like similarly. Okay, so little things or small things, you will be noticing them and you will be surprised and aware. And I want you not to be angry with yourself at that moment. I want you just to realize that and be aware of it and say to yourself, okay, I let go it. I let go and let the universe, let God. So there is actually, this is a meditation that also I've listened at some point to. Let go and let God. Make sense? So the God has space to enter your life. The divine energy can flow now easily and surprise you with the beautiful gifts, because you are holding so tight into the things that it did not have an opportunity to surprise you. Wow, we covered a lot today with different topics. It just was my flow. It came through. I didn't plan to talk about it, but it just was channeled somehow, gone through. I don't know. And I appreciate you being with me for the whole hour and 4 minutes. And I feel like I want to almost apologize, but I know that I'm doing for the sake of all of us. And I don't want to hold you longer, because I love those subjects. And I will be talking more about one breath method, because I did not explain to you the techniques yet, but step by step, we're getting there. So the job is first to let go of the control. Please continue noticing those joyful moments. Nice smell. Flower blossoming. Wow. Like literally like feel it. How does it, what's the reaction of that joy, of a simplicity, simple moments in your life, and notice what is the energy in your body, okay? Because that will be serving as a base for the next practice. And then also do this with your phone every hour. Set up buzzing alarm, and if you don't know how to, you need to do it manually every day. And like then you go 10 o'clock and then you do every day, and you choose the hour and you choose the emoji and choose the buzz. There are like 11 or 12 buzzes. Like you can have a heartbeat or you can have some other kind of a buzz. And in that moment, be aware of where are you. Get back to the present moment, notice the breath, but main thing is to notice where were you in your mind or in your thoughts. What was the feelings attached to those thoughts that you were thinking? Were you fighting with someone? Were you comparing yourself with someone? Were you looking for attention from someone? Or did you have an argument with someone? Because some people, they still arguing with their exes. I knew the woman, she was having conversation with the husband that she's divorced now from, uh, 15, almost like, I think she said 20 years later. And now I was so surprised. I didn't know it's possible, but it is. And I'm laughing at it, but I know if you're that person and you're having these conversations with your ex or your husband, just realize that's not normal, okay? And stop doing it. I'm not going to be here to tell you good things and just stroking you. I'm here to dissolve all the patterns, all the fears, all the obstacles, anything in your life that does not serve you. And it might be unpleasant to realize that, okay? Because I have gone through lots of moments where I had to realize certain things that I did not like about myself, certain patterns of behavior, loops of thinking, and so on, and just to remove it. And I'm here to support you. So please notice every hour, get your phone to buzz so you can be at work. It does not disturb anybody. Where were you? Okay. Then what thoughts you were thinking, feelings attached to it, because you can change it. You know, you don't have to believe your thoughts anymore. And changing your thoughts, you change your whole chemistry of the body. The feelings are changing, and that changes the biochemistry in your body. And that's how you create new, positive, happy, joyful, nirvanic, happy with what you've got identity, the new identity. And from that space, where also your magnetism and charisma is on, and you're always happy no matter what, and we're going to be training the reaction to any situation and any person to react positively, you dissolve your karma. So in the next lifetime, you'll have a chance not to be born as a rock, okay? Unless you really want to be a mountain or a tree or a dog. You will have a choice. If you practice it through your whole life, which for some people might be a challenge, but think of it. We eat every day for the whole life. We have 3 meals or 2 meals at least a day. Some people have 5 meals with the snacks. We are sleeping on every day. So why we are breathing every moment of our lives? So why can't we do a certain practice constantly on every day? It's just a new habit, and you're going to learn it. We're going to be doing it together. And I'm doing this practice also daily. I also have my phone on the bus still. So it reminds me of where I am, to come back to the present moment where everything is good, everything is in harmony and balance with what it is. And it's very, very beneficial for those who has who've got an anxiety, depression, any type or any disorders, and for all of us, because it happens that according to statistics 75% of population needs a therapy. And no wonder if our mental age is about, it did not reach higher than 12, then we are all wounded children, most of us. So, excuse me. So, let's carry on doing those three things I said, and we'll coming back here tomorrow and on every day, and I will be introducing more and more to that practice so you can benefit. Then you go through life and you tell me, Victoria, oh my God, I noticed that instantly when I was trying to be that boss that I hate at my work, and I was doing it the same to my partner. And I just stopped myself in the moment because I thought, I don't want to be that horrible person. Or if you have children, 100%, I guarantee you, most of you who have children, you behave the same way your parents used to behave to you. You tell them the same things your parents used to tell you. You can stop it. You can stop like this one click. You can stop the whole ancestral trauma. So you don't have to control your kids. No matter what age they are, you can give them a free will because they've been given it by the divine, the God. And sometimes we are controlling our children even when we are grown up. Yes, parents don't want to let go of control. And that might be you. You might be discovering yourself in what I'm saying. And that's okay. It might be unpleasant. Just breathe through it and understand that you are the one who can stop it today in a moment of realization. Wow, I'm exactly like my mom or like my dad, but I don't want to. It's my choice. I can break the whole ancestral patterns of behavior and change the future for my children, for their children, for my grandchildren, grandchildren, the whole generation. How powerful is that, right? So, thank you so much. I can talk for hours. I'm wishing you lots of love, sending you lots of love, and I wish you to self realize yourself in this lifetime. Okay. This could be your highest desire, to self realize yourself, first to awaken to what you're not. And then there is a massive chance, a high chance to self realize yourself into what you are. And with that comes all the healing on all the levels. And that requires a certain practice. And I'm here for you to serve and share the practices that I've been practicing for years and that helped me to get to where I am right now. I'm still on the path, so I invite you to walk this path with me. Sending you much love, and I love you. Thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you for your energy. I appreciate you. I really, 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 really honor you with all my heart. So have a good night. If you are in Australia, it might be later now, or if you're anywhere else in the world, have a beautiful day. Remember, go control your thoughts and you will be able to control your whole life. There is no need to control actually your whole life. As long as you control your thoughts, everything is going to be unwrapping itself. Your job is to control your thoughts and tune your mood into the highest being that you are. No more moodiness. No more wearing a black shirt. No more reaction to something that you did not want to. You just take one breath and you pretend like this is exactly what you love, liked, and wanted. And we're going to be practicing on that. I'll give you more keys to that. Much love. See you here tomorrow.